And then where are you building the websites for them? Is it on your platform or are you using another tool to build these websites?
That's actually where we use like a Bolt.new. So we're actually using a lot of AI building tools for those. So we can stand up their site, get it all integrated. It actually makes it very easy to use a site like Bolt.new because we just tell it to bite into our database. Here's the tables they should access. It's that easy for them. We'll go ahead and, again, if they have a different color design, a different system, they don't have to adhere to the BeRemembered.io colors. All of them, it can even look different, but it's all doing the same thing. It's that calendar integration piece, the booking piece, the services piece. So since we are in the world of web building and web hosting, we can manage that all right in there.
Nice. This is really impressive. So how are you
Thank you.
marketing all of this stuff? How are you getting the word out there?
Yeah, so from a business standpoint, it's actually a much better business plan than we've ever had, because couples, as soon as you attach the couple's name to it, and as a service company, we were doing this, right? We would have to fight against WeddingWire, the Knot and Zola, because they have it on as a gated community. They're like, listen, you're not, barrier to entry is you have to go head to head with us or you have to buy from us.
Right.
Vendors, on the other hand, it's more of a ground and pound game. We can scrape for emails. We can go ahead and find local vendors, reach out to them, chat with them. We can advertise them at a much cheaper level because we don't have as much competition in that realm. And again, the way we're going to build, which I think is a much better marketing plan, is if I get 100 vendors on the platform and they each have on average 20 people, well, now we just brought all of their couples onto the platform, exposed them to BeRemembered.io, and they probably came on as a venue or as a planner or as a photographer, but they're still going to look for the videographer, they're still going to look for the justice of the peace, they're still going to look for all of these other components. So then we can go ahead at a much cheaper CAC ahead and say to that couple, hey, we have videographer for you, hey, we have this. And then that word of mouth spreads that, hey, listen, you got to go on this platform, you can manage everything, you can pay, it's so much better. So it's a backdoor entry, but it's a much better CAC to LTV ratio there.
That's phenomenal. That's really impressive. Okay.
Thank you.
What else? So did we cover everything? Anything?
I think so. Yeah. That's the story in a nutshell. Constantly building and growing and plenty of twists and turns.
Man, that's really, really cool. I like your website. I like the way it was laid out. I was curious how you built it. Now that you mentioned that you actually learned coding within 4 months, it just goes to show that you're that whole concept entrepreneur where you're like, whatever it takes to get it done, right? And you feel so passionate about your business. You're like, if I have to get my hands dirty, I'm going to do it. And that speaks volume.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it. Every time I read about successful companies, legacy companies, it's not always the smarts, it's the persistence. You have to be willing to get down and dirty, and you have to be willing to hold on for dear life, because it is going to throw all sorts of things your way, but it's worth it ultimately. And that's how you get it done.
For sure.